After Tuesday night's game with Colchester United, attention swiftly turns to Rochdale this weekend when City make the cold trip up to Lancashire. Here's all you need to know about Saturday's game. Our opposition in question, Rochdale AFC, were formed in 1907. Being a largely rugby town, it was difficult for an association football club to start up in the area. Rochdale Town, the team that preceded Rochdale AFC, folded in 1906, but in 1907, the Dale were formed. The town itself rose to prominence in the 19th century as a leading textile producer for the Industrial Revolution. Just 10 miles outside Manchester, the town sits on a dale next to the River Roch. The football club was inducted into the Football League in 1921. In 24 and 27, they were runners-up in the Division 3 North, which is their best honour to date, although they did reach the final of the League Cup in 1962, where they were beaten 4-0 by Norwich City. Last season, Rochdale were relegated in 21st place back down into League 2, but they go into the game 7 games unbeaten in the league, so it's going to be tough opposition for Exeter City. Rochdale's manager is none other than... Forgive me. Rory Stockdale. The 41-year-old is in charge of the Dales and he took over in the summer, joining as a permanent role, his first permanent role since leaving Grimsby. In the past 10 years, he has been caretaker manager of Grimsby and Sunderland, but it was in the northeast still where he made his name as a player, rocking up for the Middlesbrough defence during the late 90s and early 2000s. The former Scottish international won all 5 of his caps in 2002 for the Tartan Army. In his 250 plus playing career, he represented the likes of Hull and Grimsby as well before hanging up his boots. Moving into coaching, he's coached the likes of Hibs and West Bromwich Albion before now moving onto the touchline as the #1 boss at Rochdale. And so far he's led his team to 13th in the league, but I bet he's never been to Peppa Pig World. Topping the scoring charts for Rochdale this season is Jake Beasley, and he is this week's one to watch. The 24-year-old began his career at Chesterfield before moving to the up-and-coming Salford City in 2017. Beasley was sent out on loan a couple of times by the Ammies before joining Solihull Moors permanently, and the summer before last he signed for then League One Rochdale, where he has now been leading the line and is the number 9 going into Saturday's game. It's going to be a cold one on Saturday when you travel to the Crown Oil Arena, previously known as Spotland, previously known as St Clement's Playing Field. It was opened long before the football club in 1878 with the rugby club that played there, St Clement's themselves. It was also a cricket stadium as well before turning into a football stadium when Rochdale AFC took over tenancy in 1920. On top of the previous other sports being played there, in 2013 it hosted a Rugby League World Cup fixture between Fiji and Ireland. Its record attendance is about 24,000, and that came in the FA Cup second round against Notts County back in the 40s. This week though, it will be Exeter City taken to the hallowed turf in Lancashire, and here's all you need to know about tickets and travel about the game. City fans have been allocated 405 tickets for the Reside Estate Agency stand, which is all seated. Grecian travel is also available for our trip up to Lancashire, and all the details of that are on our website, but it must leave Unit 1 nightclub at 7:30 in the morning on Sunderland Street. If you can't make the coach though, you can also travel by car, and it should take you just shy of 5 hours to get up to Rochdale. The M5 and the M6 will take you to Manchester, and the M60 will take you over the top of Manchester and towards Rochdale itself. On the trains, there are 4 changes from Exeter St David's. That will be Birmingham New Street, Crewe, and then up to Manchester, and then get the local line across to Rochdale there. So it's a long trip, and it's going to be very, very cold as well, with highs of about 1 degree. So wrap up warm as well. Despite not meeting in over 7 years, familiar foes are Exeter and Rochdale, having met 62 times in the past. Standout performances in 1989 and 1990 saw 5-1 wins and 5-0 wins for Exeter City. And overall there have been 23 wins for Exeter City, 18 draws and 21 wins for Rochdale. But of course, not everybody can join us at the Crown Oil Arena. So if you can catch our games on the social media, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, that'll be grand as well. But hopefully we'll see you Saturday. And until then, up the city.